And just like that, I am back. Happy Monday. I hope your day was amazing. I hope you had a little sunshine because I'm representing the sunshine today, okay? Even though my day started off sunshine, but maybe it got a little cloudy, but that's okay. I ain't gonna worry about that, okay? I'm gonna keep it moving, okay? Thank you for joining me tonight. As always, I just came on to sprinkle a little sunshine and give you a little motivation for the week. But don't forget, anytime you come on or watch the replay, tell me hello, okay? Y'all don't like to tell me hello. I don't know why, but I'm gonna keep asking. Maybe y'all gonna do it one day, okay? So I am going to get into it because I'm not gonna hold you long as I never do, right? What my intentions are not, but we'll see, okay? So what are we talking about tonight? Let's see. Tonight's topic I came up with was celebrating without comparing. The maturity of secure singleness. You're like, what is she talking about? So this past weekend, I had the pleasure of hanging with one of my married couples. They have been married for it'll be 31 years, I think the end of this month, right? And so my friend husband birthday is today actually. And so we celebrated his birthday the entire weekend. And at one of the outings, I was sitting there and I was thinking, girl, you have come a long way. You have really matured in your singleness, right? Where you can actually hang out with a married couple and not feel no types of ways, okay? And so even as I was doing it, I started thinking about a season of my life where God had me around. It was like everybody was getting married and engaged and all these good things. And I was being a part of that, helping them to prepare for that day. Just helping build them up, helping them, giving them encouragement. I remember one of my friends was getting married, and I had this book called 31 Prayers for Your Future Husband, right? And so every day the Lord would have me to send her whatever that day was. And I was like, Lord, can I just, at first I was like, Lord, can I just give her the book? Like, why I gotta go through? I already read it. But he had me giving her that every single day for those 31 days until they got married. And as I went through it, I was okay with it. I was like, okay, I don't feel bitter. I don't feel bad. I don't feel jealous. I am actually celebrating and happy for them and so many other people at that time. Like I've always said before, I have not always been in that place. And though we're talking about celebrating without comparing about your single life, there are other things in life that people can still compare to. And this might not be it. But you have to think about some other things as well. And the reason why I said celebrating without comparing is about being secure in your singleness because that is what my journey is about being single and embracing every part of singleness and what that looks like. Because it is more to life than a just woe is me, I'm still single at whatever age I am, right? But if that's not your line tonight, guess what? You can still apply this for whatever it is. You may have been comparing yourself to other people have bought houses, they have gotten cars, they have had kids, their health issues are great and yours is not. Whatever your line is, you still can put that in there and be a part of it, right? But tonight we are talking about being secure in your singleness and celebrating others while you are still walking in that season, okay? So it is a spiritual maturity of being genuinely happy for others while God is still writing your story. It brings growth, identity, and emotional intelligence. So tonight I'm going to tell you how to reach that place because I thank the Lord I have reached that place because it ain't always been this easy, but it definitely has been worth it, right? So I have tonight that comparison dies when your identity is strong. Like when I was not happy, not being able to celebrate, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who God was creating me to be. So I looked at, and society has a big part in that we should have certain things by a certain age or what our life should look like compared to somebody else's. And worldly stuff. That's not how God's timing or God's plan works, right? God has a specific plan and purpose for each and every one of us. And sometimes that journey looks different because we're all different. So he knows he has to go a different way to bring out different things in us, right? So the next one it has is comparisons thrives where identity is weak. When you don't know who you are, you compare yourself to a lot of things that God ain't told you to do. So that's why it is very important for us while we're in our singleness to know who we are, to know who God created us to be. Not our neighbor, but us, who God created us to be, right? So that is a big part and of your purpose while we're on this single journey, right? It ain't about just always preparing for somebody else. That is a big part of it too, but it's preparing you to be who God created you to be. And sometimes that is big. So the bigger the purpose, sometimes it's the bigger the pain because sometimes you got to go through some things to get to the purpose that God has for you. How I know? Because you're looking at me because this is how we got here, right? So it says, when you know who you are, someone else's blessing does not threaten you. Because what we always say, what God did for one person, he surely would do it for you. But it has to be in his timing and in his plan. And some things he don't want for you. He wants something better than something he gave somebody else. For whatever reason it may be. Only God knows that, right? So when you trust God's timing, someone else's season does not make you question your own. Because like I said, everybody has their own journey. God's timing is all different for each and every one of us. It looks different. But we have to learn to be okay with it. And it's a process, but you can get there. Because we're gonna talk about how you can get there, right? So when you are whole, celebration becomes natural. So that's what I realized this weekend, that God has completely healed and made me whole in that area where I am to celebrate others. And I don't have a problem with it. And it's not about being fake and it's not just, yeah, let me hurry up and get this through. No, that's not what it's about. Like, I'll be genuinely happy. And to tell you the truth, since we've been on this journey, lately I haven't even been thinking about the marriage part and the all that other kind of stuff. Child, it's been the least thing on my list because this journey has taught me so much. It has placed me in so many different rooms. It has pulled me in so many different directions because I learned that it's bigger than me. So while I'm on this journey of becoming, I'm just taking y'all along with me, and it's been a journey, right? So the spiritual maturity of being genuine and actually celebrating others, right? So God often tests your heart. Yes, he does. God often tests your heart through other people blessing. So sometimes God will give you something for somebody else to see how your heart posture is. Hmm. If I do this for her neighbor, would she really be happy or would she really be mad? Because if she's mad, that means she hasn't matured yet. That means she's not whole yet. I can't release what I want to give to her yet because she's not in that place yet. So I got to keep it a little while longer because she ain't going to be genuinely celebrating. She's still comparing her life to somebody else or he as well. Excuse me. So celebrating others is a sign that you are ready for your own. Joy for others is a seed and not a setback. So when you have joy and genuinely happy for others, you just putting little seeds in. So when the Lord comes through and water it, you're gonna be like, "Oh God, you did this." Yes, honey, because you waited well. Helping someone else build does not mean God has forgotten about you because sometimes he puts us in places to help other people through their season to show that he can trust us when it's time for our season, right? So I just have 5 practical tools that we can use and we will continue to use because it is a journey and not a destination of life, right? So here are some practical tools that we can continue to use to so we can continue to celebrate and not compare our life, right? The first one says to stay rooted in your assignment. You know, we've been talking about serving lately. So serve, help others, support others, and not watching from the sidelines. Whatever it is that you find your hands to do, the Lord says it will prosper. So serve people. You want to be married? Go over there and talk to your married people. See what can you serve and help them do. I helped her, my friend. We planned the whole weekend, and I planned it for her husband. I gave her the ideas, and let's do this. And I was just as excited as she was. And he ain't my husband. I ain't got no husband, but I was excited to plan and to help be a part of that. So I'm rooted in my assignment because I feel like that is a part of my assignment. Because we all know that marriage is what ministry and an assignment. But we'll talk about that later, okay? So the next one is practice gratitude for your season. Mm. You were rushing God, you weren't trusting Him. So practice gratitude means, God, I thank you for where I am. I thank you for where you have brought me from to where I am now, God. Not where I want to be, not where I used to be, but God, right where you want me to be, I want to, and I am thankful. And my pastor preached on yesterday about going back. Like when God has done something for you, go back and tell him thank you. And I just sat there and I just thought about so much that God has done lately that I just had tears of joy because I was just thankful. And you know, sometimes we go on past things and we don't really think about it and be thankful like we need to be. But sometimes God will put that little reminder. And I know when Pastor Mark put that reminder out there yesterday, the spirit was high and everybody was full because everybody was thankful of the things that God has done, right? So the next one says to honor your own timeline. Understand that your story does not have to match someone else's. We did talked about that already tonight, right? Everybody in their own lane, on their own journey. Just honor where you are, and God will take you even further, right? Recognize that blessings aren't scarce. Someone else's marriage does not reduce your chances because what? If God can do it for them, He can do it for you. If He put a desire in your heart, He's going to do it. And that even goes to if you want a house. If you want a house, you desire to have a house built, get you a brand new house or whatever it is, the same thing that He done for them, He'll do it for you. And even speaking of houses, like I have some clients that built a house in Hernando. And I was able to be a part of the process, like picking out, helping pick out light fixtures, like decor, like cabinets. Like this is my first time ever working with a couple with a new build. So I got to do way more. And I was so excited and happy for them, like I was moving in the house, right? But I realized that this is what I desire, God. I desire to have me a house built. So going through that process with them and being genuinely happy for them, the same God that built them that house and allowed me to see it and help them furnish it and decorate all that stuff, guess what? It's the same God that can put me in the same situation. And I believe that is true, okay? Because what Pastor Hannah always teaches on, same God. So the same God who do something for one person, he can do it for you too. And the last one says, let your, excuse me, let your posture be positive. Joy is a sign of emotional stability. When you have a joy on the inside, that means that your emotions are stable. Like God can trust you with some things. And it's just no limits to how God can bless you when you are celebrating others instead of comparing yourself, right? So, y'all know that's all I got for y'all tonight, right? So, I hope that you take some time tonight and think about it and go back and be thankful on the things, even where you are in life. You know, sometimes we may not be where we want to be. Um, but that's okay because long as you're where God wants you to be, you're in the right place. Because I was telling my friend one, I was like, God, I can't believe I'm almost 50. You know, we always round up. I'm really only 46, but I'm just saying 50 seems real close. And I'm not in a place where, you know, at a certain age, you feel like you should be in your forever home, you know, have your 401k set up, you know, your retirement, your vacation stuff, and your life insurance, and all these things. Make a plan and have every I dotted and every T crossed. But guess what? Sometimes that's not God how God has your life set up. And so I realized, I said, well, God knows the future better than I do. So apparently he has a great plan. You know, it don't take God to do long to do nothing, right? So even this weekend, I kept hearing the word suddenly. Somebody sent me a video that had suddenly. Somebody sent me a word that said suddenly. And my friend sent me this morning the Amos, let me see, it's over here on my vision board, Amos 9, 13, and 15. Where God can do it. Things going to happen so fast it's going to make your head spin. And just like you may feel like you are forgotten or behind, I promise you, you're not. You are right on time to be right where God wants you. So, you know, I always got the closing prayer for you, right? So it says, God, thank you for the gift of a healed heart. Thank you for teaching us how to celebrate others without questioning our own story. Tonight, we release every spirit of comparison, every feeling of being behind, and every lie that tells us our timeline is broken. Give us the maturity to rejoice with those who rejoice, the confidence to trust your timing, and the peace to stand secure in the season that we are in. Bless every listener who is learning to celebrate without shrinking, strengthen their identity, steady their emotions, and remind them that you have not forgotten them. You are writing their story with intention, with care, and with perfect timing. Let joy be our posture. Let gratitude be our protection. And we just cannot wait to see what God has in store. Okay. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Hope you have an amazing week. And don't forget to celebrate others instead of comparison. Find somebody this week to celebrate that's in a position that you would like to be in. You ain't gotta give, you ain't gotta do, if you ain't got it to give money wise, find something creative to do to be a blessing and to serve someone who is in a position where you want to be, whatever that may be. Okay. So until next time, you have a good evening and continue to wait well because you never know when your Amos 9, 13, and 15 is going to come. Until next time.